Does your iRacing car currently look like it was sponsored by Minecraft Paint and poor decisions? Well, good news. Race Wrap Guy can fix that. With real-world NASCAR wrap design experience, Race Wrap Guy creates clean, aggressive, professional custom wraps that actually look like they belong on a Sunday broadcast instead of the back row of a rookie lobby. And because we like y'all, listeners of the Cool Down Lap podcast get $10 off any iRacing wrap. Just mention the podcast when you order. And if you've got a real race car that needs to look fast even when it's sitting still, you'll get $100 off any real race car wrap too. Same deal. Just mention the Cool Down Lap podcast. So stop showing up to the grid looking like a rolling yard sale and let Race Wrap Guy make your car look like it actually belongs there.
Okay, the checker flag has flown and the race is over, and we're gonna rant about it. My name is RB Turner, and here with me is my co-host. Say your name, Colby.
I'm Colby.
He's Colby Peterson. We're here with last night's race winner from the AMP Racing League Cup Series at Atlanta, Echo Park even. This is Josh Barr. What's up, man?
Joshua. What's up,
Barr.
guys?
Barr.
What's
up, dude?
So, episode 2. How about that?
number 2. Woohoo!
It did make me giggle last night just how excited you got. You were like, fuck yeah, I gotta do it again.
You should have heard me, and like as soon as I crossed the finish line, I screamed. I went, put threw my fists up in the air. I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go, go!" Because the whole like when we did that restart, Aaron goes, "Don't let that part timer beat you, Barr. Get up there and take it from
Let
him."
that part-timer beat you. Oh, poor David, man.
Meanwhile, David's got more time in this league than probably more than half of us.
Yeah,
Man, that's funny. That's good stuff.
Well, walk us through your race, man.
I should have waited and watched Steven qualify.
Yeah.
Because he rode the outside the first lap and then went to the bottom. Usually with those type of tires, they're like your first
Not
lap's a
even-
good lap.
Yeah.
Second lap is worse. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So I rode the bottom first one and it was like a 5:17. I think I got 6.
I think what I did was when I came out of 4, I'm like, I'm gonna see what my speed is when I get to the line. And if it's not where I want it to be, then I'm just gonna ride around the outside. And that's what I ended up doing. I ride around the outside and I was about maybe 5 or 6 miles an hour faster when I hit the line. So I think that was definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I fucked my qualifying up.
You raced well.
I did do that.
Yeah, blocking Colby.
Ooh, Colby got up there and led some laps, man.
18 of them. I think I led the third most laps, second or third most.
You might have led more laps than I've led all season long.
It is the most
Maybe.
laps I've ever led in an AMP race, eclipsing the 14 laps I led at Talladega in season 2. No, season 1. Or was it 2? I don't.
It was one of them.
It was whenever.
One of
it
them
was
other
when-
seasons that's not this one.
Yeah, I think it was Steven's first season, so it might have been the beginning of season 2 sometime. But yeah.
So anyway, back to Barr.
It's enough about you, sir.
I'm sorry.
But no,
Yeah,
it was
we'll go-
funny because I
We'll go
think
back
Davis
to
was
Barr and the
riding-
reason why he won the race. So RB, what did you see on the final lap?
I saw. Well, I saw some shit about to take place. So yeah, I seen him backing up, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna get that run.
I tested it like 2 laps prior,
I
and-
noticed.
and I hit him square like mid back. I was like, all right, I gotta do that again. And then I'm backing up
Yeah.
to you, and you hit me going. I was like,
I don't
No,
remember
cr-
hitting you though.
or you got close. So I was like,
I know
don't
I
hit
got
me yet.
close
Don't hit me yet, RB. Don't hit me yet.
because I know I was close because I wanted to get close because obviously if you're gonna get that run, you're gonna need it. So
It's like, I followed Mike. I tried to do it to Mike to get the stage win. And I couldn't get a run on him. I don't know if I didn't back up enough. So if I
The
weren't
energy
there,
at the
you had
end of
to
the
get-
stage. The energy at the end of the stage and your guys' in that kind of like, because there was kind of like a group of 9 breakaway cars because there was, a couple folks got loose and stuff like that. So there didn't seem to be a ton of energy. And then y'all were all so close together. I don't think you had room to back up and generate a run and get it like you did on the last lap.
No. So I followed him, got second, and took tires, and then that next caution came out like lap 60. It's like 70 to go, and everybody's like taking fuel only. I'm like, I'm taking tires because we got to pit again, and it could be a gas and go. And I'll still have fresher tires than everybody they didn't take tires. They won't take tires again, so they'll be like lower. And I came out like 14th or 15th, something like that, and it was tough just to try to get back up front. Like I think at the highest I made it was like sixth or seventh.
That high side sucked last night. Couldn't do nothing.
If you
up there.
didn't
At least
have-
I couldn't. I couldn't do anything
until
up
it
there.
didn't though.
Yeah, that run you needed like we had like 7 or 8 of us up there. That was the only way. And then Steven and his team was able to get up there and take the lead. It took us like 10 laps to get past you guys on the bottom, and that's when Aaron, because I think Davis was behind you. Aaron goes, "Is that Colby throwing blocks?" Davis goes, "Yeah, he's doing a good job at it too."
I threw one block just to see what would happen.
I got a picture.
You
of it.
did.
See if he didn't get wrecked.
I threw one block, and it was because of the person leading the outside lane that I was like, let's see how this goes. And I went back and rewatched the stream and stuff, and his signature's like, Colby's trying. I don't know what Matt Allen's doing, but Colby's trying. Like he's in the gas, he's driving in there, And then he put 2 and 2 together, and he was like, hey, you know what? Matt Allen did just watch all 3 of his teammates drive by him on the outside and never pulled up to go with him. And
Yeah.
I was
To be
like,
fair, they're not his teammates anymore.
True. I'm staying out of all that. I'm staying out
Yeah.
of all of that.
Why,
But-
man? Let's start some shit. Yeah, it'll be probably right.
I've done a really good job at staying out of the shit this year, but no, it was fun, and yeah, I mean, I threw one block and it went about as well as I thought it would, and I had a couple opportunities to go back up and take that line away, and the nice thing about it was like I knew the couple of blocks I did throw, I knew that like only Moquin or maybe Moquin and Darling were clear of the bottom when I went up, and so it wasn't. I didn't leave myself open to get just completely freight trained.
Yeah, at most you'd lose like 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah,
And then that caution came out and changed everything.
right. And I had just hit pit road because I didn't pit at lap 60 or whatever it was. I stayed out because I still had like 20 laps of fuel, and I was like, there's no reason to go here, like there will be another caution. So, ran the caution laps, went green, was leading for a little bit, and then and I think too, the other problem was with going high like I did the one time. If I would have kept doing that, eventually I'd have got stuck on the outside, and I wouldn't have been able to make it to pit road when I needed to. And so, I just kind of ran the bottom. I think I still only fell as far back as third. Like Steven never cleared me or got past me really, and then it came on and said, hey, don't forget to pit this lap for fuel, and I was like, all right. So we came off of 2, and I drove immediately down to the wall because I wanted no problems or any kind of checkups or anything to really screw anybody else up. So I did the entire backstretch all the way off the racetrack and went and got my tires and came out like 10 seconds before I came out 10 seconds in front of Moquin when it was still green, and then it immediately went yellow as soon as I hit the backstretch. And so I was the first car lap down. And then I don't know exactly what happened, but
What did happen to that?
Yeah, it was
Was it Pop and
it was Pop and
Pop
Metal
and
and
Michael,
and
or yeah,
then it was
think
Pop,
Pop and
Metal,
Metal.
and Tick.
yeah?
Yeah,
And then I don't know
'cause
what
I
happened.
hit
Somebody
Tick.
got loose. Yeah,
Tick
somebody
got loose and caught it, and then
checked up.
Pop checked up, and Metal just drove over him.
Yeah, because I hit Metal and I got right front wheel damage.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron, Aaron could only see my bumper. So by the
Yeah.
time that happened, there was no time to go, hey, slow down, stop, back off.
Yeah,
It was just we were
things
in the middle
happen
of it.
quick, man.
And then we went to pit. I used my fast repair and fuel only and got the lead again after we had to pass for Burge. And then my headset dies.
No,
Yes, I'm
no.
like that, sitting on the charger. I'm like, hey, I can't hear anything you're saying. Davis, if you want to make a run on Reberge, he is drifting up a little bit. We can get him on the bottom in a few laps. But if you want to go now, just just go to the outside and I'll go with you. I'll just watch, in the mirror. And he never did. And then Reberge drifted up off the 2 and I got underneath of him. And then I was looking at my caution come out. I wouldn't have made it to the finish. I was a lap short with, I had 14 laps left when the caution came out with 15 to go, 15 or 16 to go. So that whole time I was clutch all the way down.
Man.
That neutral button on those Moza wheels is pretty cool.
I
Works
will
pretty good.
say
I mean,
though, my headset will never die because of this.
Because he's
I'll
plugged
see-
in.
I'm
this
plugged
is
in.
I got these on sale at Best Buy. They're movie theater headphones.
Yeah.
So and they
They're
got
nice.
they got the nice surround around. So like when I'm driving or whatnot, I can hear the car coming up behind me. I can hear the engine.
Yeah,
It was kind of funny that last restart. I heard metal drop the first. And I was like, okay.
Well,
And I was
I've
able
said-
to get a good launch with him.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I think you were able to tuck in front of me, because I knew that I needed to have a really good restart if I was going to stand any kind of chance. Because I think the best position to be in was probably your position, so that you could get that run like you did going into 3. So I was sitting there thinking, all right, I gotta have a real good restart. And then when we took off, and then you got in between me and Metal, and I'm like, well, Bar just won this race.
Metal tried to because Metal tried to come up to block, I guess, and I was there. Like he couldn't come up any further.
There's a
But
couple of
yeah.
restarts when Metal was out front that he would gas it and kind of move up before the start finish line. I don't know that he ever truly changed lanes, and obviously he's the leader, so he's not advancing his position or anything. But when I was watching it back, the couple of restarts when he was out front, there was a couple of times that he drifted up to the right
Yeah.
and then came back down or whatever. It was weird though, because like I watched the Xfinity race on Saturday night, and if you weren't on the top, you were going all the way to the back. And then there was
Yeah,
even
this was the exact opposite effect.
there was even an element of that in the Cup race when it finally got going last night too, where like you wanted to be in the top for the momentum, and sure you'd give up a half a car length in the corners just because of the shorter distance, but so like in my mind I was expecting to want to try to get to the top like all night last night, and I started 13th, so whatever that is, row 7 on the inside, and ended up in like 6th place after 5 laps, just staying on the bottom and staying organized. So
We was a bunch of bottom fadas.
we were.
That was the only group that worked.
Yeah.
It's
For a lot of it.
because even for the couple months ago, we ran in the Xfinity and Chop, and the top was working there too in those. But for whatever reason, I don't know if an update happened or whatever. But man, that unless you were having like a real good side drive, like Darling was able to make it work before the stage. I think he had like 1 or 2 people behind him, but he was able to get back by me and maybe another spot. But yeah, that was the only time. Like you had to really work that side draft in order to make it work, and yeah, it was frustrating.
Yeah. And then say I really didn't have any issues besides getting in that one caution, trying to get back up front, and then that caution comes out. Luckily, I took tires in lap 60, so everybody else took tires, and that got me back up front.
Yeah. So 3 races into the playoffs, and the first 4 out: Zook, Clinkart, Mike Daniels, and Ryan Wendt. Which when we did our episode with Steven and Aaron, I don't know that we planned on any of those 4. Did we, RB?
I don't think so. I think
I
the
think maybe
2
one
biggest
person.
was-
I think one
I-
person mentioned Mike Daniels.
Maybe.
But I can't remember who that was.
I think the most popular vote for not going to make it was going to be Jordan Lane.
Yeah. This is a
And-
road course right before.
And he
And
and
then
Clint
somebody
are tied
said
in
Hackett.
12th, 11th.
I thought it was going to be Roberge, Lane. I don't remember who I said the other 2 were, but I thought those 2 were going to.
Well, going
an
into
issue.
it last night, if Lane was in front of me, I told him I'd push him to the win if needed. 'Cause he was,
Yeah.
pretty much winning.
Lane.
Especially after that stage when Mike won the stage, and then I don't know why he didn't pit, or he didn't know pit road.
He
opened
just
that early.
he had a dumb moment.
He
I know
missed it.
exactly.
Just
I know
straight up
exactly what
missed it.
happened. He's used to pitting out of 4, and he
Yeah.
probably just at the moment's notice forgot that we had to pit on the backstretch. I know exactly what happened.
Well, and
That-
when
they
I was
screwed
watching
up.
when I was watching the race back, it looked like he faded up because Barr was coming up pretty quick up to him in the pace car, and it looked like he kind of faded up, not really sure what was going on, and then Barr dipped below the box, and he went to like swerve and just missed it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
should have just pitted and took the end of the line penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he should
Instead
have
of having to
went
do
ahead
that
and
40
got
second
in
hold.
there. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks for him.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, I don't want to. I would never wish anything bad on anybody necessarily, but when I saw that, I'm like, yes, because I think he was like 1 point or something behind me, and we're right on the cutoff, you know, to make it into the 12, and I'm like, he's one of the guys that I really need to beat tonight. So I'm like, you know, well, that sucks, but thank you.
RB climbs 2 spots in the points with the second place finish or third place finish.
Yeah, I think it just reset with
Yeah,
what
it just
the-
reset with every
Yeah.
playoff points you had.
Yeah.
But
I got an additional 3.
yeah,
Heck
Bar got
yeah.
another 3. You know, no more of a chance to get to. I think I'm like, how far back am I from you? It's like it's not that far, like 4 points or something.
4 points
4
between
points. I'm
Joshua
coming to
Barr.
get you.
All right.
4 points. We're gonna duke it out. We're gonna fight, man. We're throwing hands.
Well, I'm hoping Dover kind of goes like Bristol did, because it's going to be like the same.
I don't.
I don't.
Well, as far as like the way the car drives, not the crashing.
Well, the way the car drove okay. I think most of my Bristol race I was pretty damaged. So
Mhm.
honestly,
Yeah.
it kind of drove like shit to me. But
You couldn't miss a wreck at Bristol.
I couldn't.
No.
At least
It's
you
like-
didn't. At least you didn't spin out. At least you didn't spin out in front of the entire field.
No, Darling spun out in front of me, and it cost me a drive-through penalty.
I remember that. I spun out in front of Steven and gave Barr the win, I believe.
Well, I had
Yeah.
wheel damage. I don't remember. I hit the wall, and caution comes out. I had Aaron behind me, or I had somebody behind me. And I just couldn't. I mean, turned a little bit better from what I remember. So,
You won Bristol, didn't you?
which I know that because going from Dover last season, where I won that one in the playoffs, kind of hoping this one goes. I think I'll be all right at Chicagoland. to get, like,
Chicagoland should be a good race. I think
Gateway-
Chicago, I think
Gateway,
should-
probably.
think
Gateway will be
Darling-
tough, but I think it'll be good.
I think Darling's probably going. It's not as hard at braking.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's
I mean,
like
Darling's kind of
Milwaukee
a
and-
flat track specialist, I guess. Seems
Yeah,
like.
a little
I-
bit of banking to it.
I
You don't
think
have to,
when we
like,
talked to
slam on the
Darling,
brake.
when we talked to Darling after New Hampshire, I feel like St. Louis Worldwide Technology. I feel like turns 1 and 2 race really similar to a New Hampshire or even like a Martinsville because it's got just a little bit of that bank to it, but it's a super tight corner. You know, it's not obviously not as tight as Martinsville, but it's a pretty tight corner. And then 3 and 4 almost races like turn 3 at Pocono, kind of that big long sweeping deal. And if you don't apex it just right, you're going to lose all your momentum going down the front stretch. And so I think Worldwide Technology Raceway is going to be interesting. And I think the braking points into turn 1 at speed are going to be, I think I would bet the over under, and I would take the over at least 3 cautions just from getting wrecked going into turn 1 from somebody braking sooner than somebody was planning on.
Possibly. If it depends on who you have behind you. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
I think Chicagoland is a Josh Barr racetrack. I don't know what it is about you, but it's always the mile and a half. So you are always so fast. And sometimes you're almost too fast, and that usually ends up biting you in the ass. But like you're
Yeah,
always
or,
fast at those.
I'll screw up like pit road or something. I'll pull some
Right.
some silly stunt, get a speeding
Something.
penalty, and go to the back.
Or your wheels shut off going into turn 1, or
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
don't
with
say
the
that.
bigger
Isn't
motor.
that the last time it happened? Was that Chicagoland?
No, it was
no,
Texas.
it was Texas.
Because it happened. It was Signatures Gen 6 League.
That's right.
It was
Yeah,
the
it
first
was.
one, and it was somewhere where I didn't change the force feedback, so it just got hot. The R5, I hit the safety temperature, and
Was it
shut
hot
off.
to the touch?
Yeah.
Like, you like put your hand on an oven kind of thing? Really?
Yeah. It got super hot. It hit
Because
the,
I checked. I know this is just a G920, but ever since then, I'm feeling the back of mine. I'm like, it's a little warm.
yeah. If I run
But-
force feedback to where it's not in the green the whole time and it's up like it's yellow, red, this will get like it can almost fry an egg on.
Yeah.
It'll get pretty hot. You just gotta be careful.
I set up one of those like 1.5 foot tall desk fans
Yeah.
right next to me, and it does, like every now and again I'll turn the pivot on so it'll cool me off a little bit, but a lot of times I just turn the fan on 3 and point it straight at my wheelbase.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't think this doesn't really have any like got some spots on the back for like fan, but it doesn't really cool.
It would be a good feature to add to that, probably some kind of cooling system.
Yeah, I remember the first couple of races I did with my Moza, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Like that gets really hot." And I don't know if I just got used to it or if I started getting smarter with my settings and stuff. But yeah, I
I've
don't know,
sent this
man.
episode to Russ, though. Russ was telling me this morning, and I think you got a message, Colby,
I did.
because he was like, so I've been looking at that Moza R5 again, and I was like, well, I don't know anything about it. So I was like, go talk to Colby. And the reason I sent him to you is because I'm not saying you're on the same skill level or anything, but I mean, you struggled a lot.
I had
in
the
the
same struggles
beginning.
that he had or has
And-
or whatever you want to call it. Yes.
Yeah, so I was like, go talk to Colby, because I think he used to drive, the same thing, and now he's got the R5.
Yeah, I had a G920, and I tell you exactly what I told him. I basically said, look, first of all, I don't know how long he's had his G920. I don't know how long you've had your G920, but anything that you have with a belt, and it doesn't matter if it's your car, your steering wheel, a belt that you wear with your jeans, over time they stretch. That's part of the physical makeup of them. Because he's saying that he's got a ton
Makes
of just like
sense.
he has a ton of like loose slop in his
Yeah,
wheel.
slack.
And I'm like, well, I don't know how long you've had it, but that could be part of it. And I don't think they lose the force feedback or the tension as much from the actual turning, but I think it's that force feedback of that belt giving you the tension, and you're just constantly stretching it, And mine never did quite get to that point, but
No, I blew out my potentiometers before that point.
But I told him, like, because my Moza, and I don't know if it's my settings or not, but I've got just like the smallest little dead spot right at the top where I like last night there was a couple of times I found myself kind of going rocking with it a little bit.
Mm.
But and I told Russ straight up, I was like, it's a learning curve going to a direct drive from a belt drive, because you can feel the car so much more, and it forces you. And I told Russ, I says, it means that you can't just turn the wheel like this when you're going into a corner. You know,
you can feel like one thing I liked about doing it when I switched to this is you can feel the edge of the tire, like right when you get past, like it's real hard to turn, and then it gets too easy. You're turning way too much. You're past the grip point.
See, and in like the Logitech, you needed that give for your car to actually turn. At least that's how I felt about it. And then, like I've said this a few times, and I told Russ the same thing. I said, if you talk to RB or Aaron or some of these other guys, like they're going to tell you just to learn how to use your equipment. Like that, RB's been on the G920
he said next to me, or back to me even.
Yeah.
He said, Colby said, you and Aaron will just say it doesn't matter. And I was like, yeah, probably. That's what
I'm pretty sure you and Aaron are on record on this podcast saying the exact same fucking thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
know what I use.
I feel like my driving's got 10 times better switching to direct drive.
I know mine has. It's not even I feel like mine. I know mine, like when I don't just make bonehead fucking mistakes, I know my driving has gotten better switching from the belt drive to the direct drive wheel.
I would switch it when the funds are there. I plan on switching, but until then, I'm gonna talk as much shit as I can.
Get the views up so RB can upgrade.
Yeah.
I think they're on sale for like $350, $360.
Man,
that's $100 cheaper than what I paid.
$300 for this one. I think I paid $300.
I paid $260 when I got my G920 when I first started iRacing. But I can't talk about my Moza. I can't talk about my Moza R5 without giving a shout out to Tick, because he actually like sponsored I think half of my Moza.
Yeah,
like the big shout out to Tick, because without him I would have never upgraded. I would still be on the G920 and still cussing every weekend and losing my patience and just getting frustrated overall. And
well, I have a half a rig I can sell somebody. You just gotta buy a wheel. The wheel's like $150, which is crazy for just the wheel,
right?
Because I have the R5 base and then the SRP pedals. I just upgraded to the CRP, and that was a learning curve.
They're the full SRP pedals.
No, the CRP2s.
No, the ones you're getting rid of.
Yeah, they're the standard SRP.
I just have the SRP lights, but I got that.
Yeah, that's what those are.
I got the brake spring.
Well, see, I took the brake spring off of the Logitech wheel.
Yeah.
G920. and it was held, and I put it through the little slips on the back just so I could get. I did that for Road America, no, for Daytona,
Yeah.
because I couldn't. I was locking up the brakes nonstop because push too far, push too far.
Absolutely no
And,
resistance. Yeah.
and I would just
The
lock
brake
them up
spring's
'cause
done me a lot of good. I know that like Jordan Lane didn't really like it. He just got a new set of pedals too, I believe.
Yeah, I think you got Simtech or
Simtech or Simmagic or something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but we were talking the other night in Discord. He said he hated that brake spring because it made it. He felt like it took it, because when you first get those pedals, the brake and the throttle are the exact same. They just, there's no pushback at all. And he said he put one of those brake springs in it, and he said it like took it too far the wrong way. Like it made it way too stiff. And, for him, like with his knee and everything, like that makes sense. And like I've got bad knees too, but I like the brake spring in mine because I have such a tendency to overuse brake pressure.
Yeah, these have load cell that
Right
can go
on.
up to like 200 kilograms or whatever the little spring buttons are.
Mhm.
I still have it set to medium because I put the setup for GT in there. I was like, I can't even push it down. So I'm sitting there like, well, see my rig doesn't have, it really didn't have a platform set up for this. So I had to like flip it around and manipulate it. And, cause I was pushing on the brake and the whole rig would pop up and the pedals went down. So I was like, no. So I got a block sitting under it and I got some extra bolts I put in there to stiffen it up so it doesn't move.
Right.
But
so when I first built my rig, I built, like a base and everything. And, I got a passenger seat out of a 2007 Toyota Corolla. That's the seat that I use. But when I did all that, I didn't really feel comfortable building the uprights and stuff for the steering wheel for my G920. And so I found on Facebook, I paid $50 for like one of those like wheel and pedal stands that you can buy off of like Amazon.
Mhm.
And I just ran some, drilled some holes through like the bottom of it and bolted it, screwed it in to the 2x6 that is the base of my rig. And then I just mounted the pedals to it. The problem is when I got the Moza, this stand was only built for like Thrustmaster and Logitech because they have a similar base.
Yeah.
And so I had to kind of rig it up a little bit different and figure out different ways to make the bolts go into the bottom of the pedals. But it works. It works. I mean, I'm sure that's a
the bolt
relative
holes
statement.
for these, the platform is like 6 inches longer than the SRP pedals.
Gotcha.
So it didn't none of the holes lined up. So I got like 2 big ones in the bottom and then the extra bolts that's kind of like forced in there to hold it still. The plan is to one day get a Motion when they come back down. When they come down a little bit, they're a little pricey. I think like $3,000 for like the standard up, forward, back, and left, right. And then it's like, I was looking, the cheapest one, it's like 6 ways of motion. It's like $6,000. And it does forward, back, lean.
And then does the yaw.
And the yaw.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I need the leaning because I'm not flying.
Right.
I just I need a little bit of yaw and forward and back. So when you hit the brakes, you feel yourself going forward. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll lose a tooth because I'll hit it too hard.
That's why they come with, with
the seats.
Seat belts. Yeah. No, those come across my Facebook every once in a while. Kind of like those turnkey simulator setups, and coming with all that movement. And it's like that would be so cool. Like I think I would really enjoy it, but I think I would almost make myself sick at the same time.
Cool thing I got to do this year was Milo. He had gotten me we got from Lap Labs. He had gotten me the golden ticket for the Sim Expo, Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go into the Sim Expo. You got a pass to the NASCAR Hall of Fame and a ticket to the race, 600.
Cool.
So yeah, I forgotten all about it. I didn't think, I was like, well, I never bought a ticket. And he sends message. It was actually his wife sent me a message because they were already down in Charlotte. They went down on Friday. And his wife sends a message, which I thought was him. He's like, hey, you should come to Charlotte. And it's like 3:00 in the afternoon. I was like, yeah, I don't have a ticket. He's like, man, I have a ticket for you, a bedroom. And
Nice.
I was like, okay. And I looked over at Brandy and she looked at me and she goes, just go. So I was like, I'm on the way. And Milo didn't see it, but his wife messaged back, okay, sweet. And then Milo finally saw it and he messaged me. He's like, "Are you coming tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm like an hour outside of Charlotte. Is that okay? If not, I could probably pivot and see if Davis will let me stay at his place." He's like, "No, no, no, no. I didn't know you was coming." And that was pretty cool. We went to the Sim Expo and I got to drive a $125,000 sim rig.
Mm.
It was full up platform, all the motion, 360-degree motion, and I drove the F4 around Road Atlanta. And you hit a curb, and my hands were. I came off. I did like 6 laps, and just trying to stay seated properly. I was sweating. Like I was like, this is exhausting.
And that's still only a fraction of like the G's that the actual like the the real car gives you.
Yeah,
That's the wild part.
There was a couple load cell brakes that I got in it, and I went driving around. One of them was at an oval, and you had to hit the it's like South Boston or something like that. I hit the brake, and I just went right into the wall. I was like, "Brake's not working." He's like, "No, you got to push it." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, it's only 20%." I was like, "I can't even get it to move." I'm like, so I had to like back the seat up and like slam on it to get it to slow down, make the corner. I was like, "That's different. I don't have that at home." But of course, that's like $4,000. I was like, okay, it's a little pricey. But win the lottery, different story.
Yeah, if I hit the lottery, I'll be giving you guys a call. Save my number, will you? If y'all ever need product testers, go ahead and let me know.
Yeah, the one of that one that was 125. I think it's made over, I want to say England or somewhere, but they build it in the factory. 2 guys build it together, test it. They take it apart. They fly to your house, come to your house, put it together, test it, and then leave. So it's not like built somewhere and then somebody else puts it together. The same 2 people that put it together,
That's cool.
flies
So they
with
bring it to your place and configure
set
it
it up.
and
Yeah. And if you ever have any trouble, those 2 guys come back. I was like, well, I mean, I want the same people that put it together to come back at least, or somebody. I've spent 125 grand on something like, hey, this ain't working no more.
Yeah. I wonder
One
how
of these
that
bad
would
boys go around. When of these go bad, they're like, you can send it in. We'll give it back to you in like 4 years.
right.
Better off just
I
going
wonder
buy
how
a
that
new one.
conversation would go with Valerie. Like, hey, I accidentally, hit the
Got a
lottery.
second mortgage.
It's like, hey, I accidentally hit the lottery today, and I think I know what I want to do first. She goes, oh, what's that? I said, there's these guys in England that build these racing simulators. She goes, okay. What's that? 15, 20 grand? 125? I think even if I had 400 million, my wife would be like, no.
Yeah.
Like, we're not spending
That's Porsche money. That's
125,000.
Porsche money.
We're not spending
They had some real
$125,000
good
on a
ones.
fucking hobby.
They had some real good ones that were like, I think they were sitting at like 10, but instead of like having like the full thing, they were like little pedals that went up and down and were calibrated to give the same like motion. It just didn't have any the yaw to it, but it was like tilt.
Yeah.
Those are actually pretty cool.
I mean, like when I was researching and trying to set up, like when I first wanted to get into it, I was researching. You kept coming across like that Butt Kicker brand.
Yeah, the
It
little
sells like those mats that you put under your rig,
yeah, to give you
and then it like
vibrations.
vibrates and stuff like that. But
Which I get enough vibration from the wheel. The wheel,
Yeah.
if you starts vibrating, it goes through the whole frame. I feel it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I hit the rumble strips at Road America a couple of times, and my steering wheel just fucking. And I was like, ah, But no, man. There is an absurd amount of money you can put into this hobby. It really is pretty fucking disgusting just how much money you could waste on this. But
yeah, especially like I don't know, going and getting setups. It's been a fortune there just to try to get faster.
Yeah.
And if you're not in a league, I guess. I mean, if you want to run, I guess officials nonstop, that's the way to go. I guess.
Yeah, I hate officials. I tried one on Saturday afternoon and reminded myself really quick why I don't do officials.
Well, you got to pick the right track. Tracks like that, anything can happen. You got to do the Charlottes, the Las Vegas, Poconos.
Charlotte and Vegas are every bit as bad as Atlanta.
Not
you got to remember how low my split is compared to yours.
You know what?
It's the same all across the board, though.
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about like I'm at 2780. I think I think we'll
Yeah.
tank down to like 300 and see how quickly I can get back.
You might as well just create a new subscription and start at rookie and go from there.
That's a lot of work. And that's a lot of account stuff you got.
Yeah. But
But
if you're at 5780, well, I guess
I got to tank a little bit so I can race, or I go up and then I got to tank so I can.
I think we should raise it a little bit at the end of the season. Just my opinion. So,
Yeah, I mean,
raise amp.
yeah,
Dude, I just started running decent. Now you want to bring in more good guys?
Well, no, it's not that. It's just, guys like Bark and can race. Bar's a 3,000 I-rated driver. There's not a doubt in my mind. And so is Aaron, and so is Steven. And they, if you want to race officials,
yeah, you got to
You're there,
race, and
then
then when
you-
you get above it, then you got to start and park or
yeah.
pray for a crash, and then because I was over it like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I wasn't trying to think, I got wrecked, so I finished last, and it fell down to like 2780. I was like, all right, I'm good for the weekend. Not touching it.
Yeah.
I'll go into hosted lobbies.
I mean, I've seen Bar racing with guys like Stryker, and Aaron
Yeah.
too. Stryker's
Yeah.
4,000.
Yeah.
So Bar's every bit of a 3,000 I-rated driver, I think. So, I think
Yeah.
we ought to raise it to at least 3,000, if not 35.
My I
My
rating
league's
is
35.
My I rating is an 1180 right now, and I think that if I actually ran officials, I could probably do better than that. But I don't run officials. It's also the reason why I've been
Yeah,
a B
you're
license.
better than
for,
11.
It's also the reason why I've had a B license for 2 years in Oval,
Yeah, you gotta get to the A so you can run the fixed cup lobbies.
the fixed NIS lobbies.
You don't have to do NIS.
You only have
can
to
do
have a
the
C for NIS.
Yeah, you don't have to C for NIS, and then if you want to run just the cup car fixed,
Yeah,
you gotta have an A. Those are you can get some decent lobbies in those.
right.
It really just depends
Yeah,
on
then
track.
when your I rating goes up a little bit, and if it's a small enough field, you can get some, some of the
You just
Cook
gotta
Series
strive for-
drivers in there.
Yeah,
You get to race guys like, Vicente Salas or somebody,
Yeah,
and you can be next to them for about 3 seconds before they just drive off into the distance.
before they disappear.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
happened to me. That happened to me at Homestead. Yeah,
I missed it this year, but last year I ran in this charity race. It's called the Luke's Playhouse Foundation. So I made friends with this guy named Noah Rainwater through that 24 Beers of Daytona that I've told you guys about a few times.
Mhm.
Sounds like an Indian name.
I don't know.
Rainwater.
I mean,
What did he
looks
race? Did he race like an actual cup car or not cup car?
Not a
Xfinity?
cup car. I don't know.
I
what
think I've seen him
exactly he
in like
raced. He's
Xfinity
a-
or truck.
He's right now. I think he's actually a crew chief for an ARCA car.
Yeah, but he did drive like real cars for like a short
He
period
might
of time.
have.
It wasn't I think
He
I
might
remember
have, I'm
seeing his
not
name
sure.
on a broadcast.
Right.
It could have been
But
Arca, I don't know.
So his brother Luke has something, and I don't want to like take a stab at what it is and do it any disservice. But anyway, so their family for the last couple of years has been trying to build these these gyms and recreation centers, kind of like an all abilities park, but on steroids.
Mhm.
To the point where they can come in and lift weights, to their ability and that kind of stuff. And it's all about, mobility and being able to do whatever they want. Because like Luke, as far as I know, is in one of those like motorized chairs and stuff like that. But anyway, they do this charity race every year, and they just call it like the Luke's Playhouse 200, but they change cars and change tracks and stuff like that. And last year it was the O'Reilly car at Auto Club, which I enjoy the O'Reilly car at Auto Club. I think it's fun. But anyway, I raced in that race. Vicente Salas was in it. Caden Honeycutt was in it. Parker Retzloff was in it. Caden Lapsevich, whatever. I can't remember what his first name is. He was in it. There was like 5 or 6 dudes that are like, truck and Xfinity guys that raced in that race. And so it's a 200-mile no fast repair type of race. And I'm not going to say how much damage Parker Retzlaff had, but I did pass him on track under green flag conditions.
Cool.
I think it was last year. Keelan Harvick destroyed me, made me look like a 2-year-old on the track. So
I will say real quick, this came up from February of 2025 in a NOSS car series. There is a Noah Rainwater that won the race in the number 40 car.
yeah, NASCAR. Yep, I raced
Yeah.
with those guys on Tuesday.
Yeah,
We had We had Brandon Brown last season. He raced with us last season.
Yeah,
And as long as he didn't get damaged, he was golden to win. I mean, he was like weaving in and out of traffic, just like he's on like one of the Tokyo drift cars, Gainsbury just driving through everybody.
yeah. Well, this is at Auto Club, and Noah won the race. Second place in the 01 car. Guess who that was?
This guy.
Joshua Barr.
I remember that race.
I just did a
Parts of
search
it.
on. I just did a Google search, and it came up with a Facebook post, and I was like top 10, and Noah Rainwater, and then Josh Barr. What? It's kind of
That's cool.
funny.
But anyway, yeah, I met him through that 24 Beers of Daytona that I've talked about, and yeah, there's a couple of dudes. Caden Honeycutt ran the 24 Beers of Daytona with us one year. They brought him in literally just to drive the Cup car around the Daytona road course, not the one that we ran, but like the GT style.
Yeah,
without the bullshit chicane at the end. And yeah, it's a good group. It's a cool little deal. But I was in a legend car lobby with Dale Earnhardt Jr. once, just the practice session. He's obviously a higher split than most of us are, but he was in like the practice session, and then he went to his split and I went to mine. But no, it's cool stuff. That's the cool thing about iRacing, I think, too, is like you see these guys race. You see these guys race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Or, even some of the IndyCar guys, some of the Formula One guys, a lot of the endurance car championship guys. I mean, any given lobby, you may or may not be in there with somebody that actually knows what they're doing.
Imagine getting in like a GT car, joining the session if you're high enough rating, and next thing you know, Max Verstappen just blows your doors off. You're like,
How
you can
cool
hold
is
it wide
that,
open
man?
through there? You can hold it wide open?
Right.
He can.
No, that's good times. Good times. But what do you think, Bar? So we got Dover, Chicagoland, Worldwide Technology. You're good at Dover. You'd be all right at Chicagoland as long as you don't fuck yourself over. You're a top 5 guy every week anyway, so Worldwide Technology is probably not all that terrifying as long as you can stay out of the wall.
Yeah, staying off the wall there, coming off either 2 or 4.
Yeah. Because the way that the
'Cause
front
you can-
stretch comes back towards you so hard coming off of 4, that sucks.
Yeah, as long as because that outside wall comes close, you really got to dime in the corner, especially 3 and 4. You got to go up a little high, exit low.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
one's going to be how hard you turn, and probably brakes are, you don't really, I mean, turn 1, you got to hit the brakes pretty hard, but 3 and 4, you can pretty much just coast and downshift just a little bit
Yeah.
to get the car to rotate.
Yeah, I think you're probably down to, what would you say, 3rd gear in turns 1 and 2,
Yeah,
and then
fourth.
rolling turn 3 and 4 in 4th gear.
Yeah, that was before the update. I haven't driven the track with the new
Correct.
horsepower, so it could be 5th gear all the way around. I don't know.
Then we go into the round of 8, which I've got to assume that you're pretty excited about going to Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I think
As long as you don't get that pit road speed.
that's what got me season 1 of AMP.
I
Was
know.
It was my potentiometer on my Logitech wheel. I'm sitting there, doing 45 or whatever the speed limit is, and it just kept creeping up. I'm like tapping the brake, and the next thing you know, I got a speed limit. I mean, I don't know how far
Had that
lead I
race
had.
won, man.
Yeah, and the potentiometer
I
went bad.
remember that.
And then what was it? I won the next year we were there, and that was, I think, because Grijalva was out front. He wrecked or something happened to Grijalva, and I was able to keep the lead. But he was running me down on that one. So yeah, I'm because you got Stevens road course
Animal.
king with these cars, and
Fucking
Aaron
alien.
too. And Darling showed just from the past 2 that he was really good. And I know Zook's not in the playoffs anymore, but he's also really good there. He's looking just to steal any win he can now. He's got nothing else to lose. Doing balls to the wall.
I mean, he can still
Checkers
climb.
and wreckers.
He can still
Yep.
climb up in points, though, can't he?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, he can come all the way up to 5th. Yeah.
So there's that, and Homestead and Phoenix, I think, are they're traditional NASCAR tracks that like I'd be honest with you, I'd pick a sleeper. He's not a sleeper. I mean, Davis is a solid race car driver, but if he can figure out how to rip that outside at Homestead, I think Davis could
See the
steal a win.
championship race that we raced there with Steven.
Steven won, didn't? Yeah, Steven won.
Yeah, but it was the bottom was the way around.
Was it the bottom?
Because we were ripping the top, and I don't know. I've raced it again later on, running the bottom, like the RB line. You just kind of drift in. I was racing in a Thursday night league or Friday night league with Davis, and we were racing the O'Reilly cars there, and I had like 12-second lead over the field. And I don't remember if I got hit by a lap car or something like that, and it was just too much damage to fix, and I was too slow. But it's all about, like, especially for Homestead, as long as you can lit off early enough and just coast the corner and not have to do too much turn input. Not really much saving the wear on your tire, it's the heat.
Yeah.
You get your tire too hot, you can still have 90% on your right front. But that sucker
So
gets
tire's
250,
worthless.
260.
Yeah.
You're not going to do anything.
Yeah. Then you got Phoenix, which, you know, I've never ran well at Phoenix personally.
I'm hoping to escape out of there with like a top 10. Now, if it was mini stocks, that would be a
Those
show.
mini stocks, it would be on.
Yeah, it'd be a show. 3 wide all the way around for like
man.
6 or 7 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all
That's
gas,
what me and
no
Barr
brakes.
did in the signature race. It was me, Barr, and Davis, and it was like 105 laps of pure just back and forth between the three of us, and we were running into each other, door banging and shit. It was amazing. It was a blast. It was probably the funnest race I've ever been a part of, and
Yeah.
it was just awesome. So,
Right.
and I got to win. But I would say that even if I didn't win, it was still a good race.
And I got to win. I got to win. Yeah.
Like, we all pitted under green. We all came out like right all in the same area. It's like I think we all had the exact same pit stop. Yeah, and it was
Man.
it was awesome.
Yeah, Cup car at Phoenix isn't my favorite. I'm not good. I'm gonna have to practice that one a bit. But then we go to Charlotte, and I think 3/4 of the field is good at Charlotte. There are just other people that are better than others. So
Yeah,
It was one Charlotte race, I think. I don't know if I won that one, but you were, RB was like, did you get second in that race, or did you? There was one. I mean, you saved your tires so well that you were just. I remember you just
that was
cruising by
season
me.
2. It was season 2. I actually went back and rewatched that race about a week ago just because I wasn't depressed enough already. And that was one where I led for like 70 some laps, and I was the fastest guy. I had the car to beat, especially at nighttime. Barr was good in the daytime, but Barr ended up third, and I was leading. And Grijalva took 2 tires.
Yeah, that's it.
And 2 tires somehow worked for him for 25 laps, and it pissed me off. Like, how? Yeah. Then we had the Chop Shop Xfinity race a couple weeks later, and I won that one. So yeah. Charlotte's a friend of mine usually, as long as some stupid strategy that should have never worked. It's somehow.
I can
Somehow
tell that
he
you
pulled it out.
I can tell that you've worked those demons out, and you're definitely over it.
Yeah, like I had to go back and rewatch it just to make sure I had it all that correct. And I was like, "Yep, I'm still just as angry."
I would be too, to be honest with you. I would be too.
And what sucks even worse about it is the next week we went to Richmond, and I feel like I could have won that one too because I was chasing Steven down.
Yeah.
And then the caution came out, and at the end of the race, it was like 15 to go or something. And then cautions kept coming out, and cautions are not my friend. And Zook was on my outside. You had Aaron was pushing the shit out of Zook, which was pushing him past me, and me and him had like a 1-point deficit. I missed my way into the final 4 by 1 point in season 2. And then I went out at Homestead and finished third ahead of Steven and Barr, Zook, and Aaron. I beat all 4 of those fuckers. Would have won the championship, but because I missed it by that 1 point, let me tell you something. If you think 1 point is not important, it's fucking important. Like emphasis on the fucking important.
We got RB spooled up.
Man, yeah, Barr brought up memories from the past. Very, very sad memories. I watched both of those races this past couple of weeks just because I wasn't sad enough with my life. So yeah.
No,
Season 2.
my favorite horrible memory is it was season 1, Old Atlanta, and I had a really good.
Did I wreck you?
No,
I didn't
I had
wreck
a-
you.
no, I had a
Season
really
1,
good.
Old Atlanta, I wrecked the whole field.
You didn't wreck me.
I started on the pole and hit the gas, and literally everybody behind me wrecked.
I
But
had a
anyways, go ahead.
pretty good run going. That was like, and again, disclaimer, like I'm not claiming to be fast But that was back when I had absolutely zero claim to being fast. Like there was absolutely no reason for me to even pretend that I was fast. So I was running 14th or 15th. I think I was a half a second slower a lap than everybody. But I was going so fucking slow that I was saving more fuel and more tire than anybody on the racetrack. And next thing I know, I was in 13th. I was like, and next thing I know, I was in 12th. And then like a bunch of people pitted and I was in 4th. And I was like, I don't know what to do here. Like I'm shaking. Like I'm on top of the register on signature screen. I don't know what to do here. My dumb ass. All I had to do was drive around one more time and I would have officially led my first lap in AMP. Had no situational awareness and pit in second place and ended up finishing 11th. I think that was the.
And you didn't have to pit, or
I pit because I was afraid of the deficit. I didn't want to stay out any longer, and like because I would have ended up going 2 laps down pitting by the time I would have had to pit. So things you learn.
You could have led a lap, man.
Could have led a lap. Could have led my first lap all that time ago, and decided not to.
Yeah,
but
I don't feel too bad. I decided not to too when I took out the whole field.
No, I think that was the race that I was racing Aaron for like I was racing Aaron for 11th.
Aaron wasn't in that race. You might be thinking that would have been track.
Where was I racing Aaron? I don't remember, Michigan or something like that. We've talked about it, like Aaron racing. I remember the shit having out of me for 11th. Yeah. Like so many moments like that have happened in this league where I was like this close to doing something really, really cool. And then my computer shuts off or on my I spin or just self-inflicted wounds. But anyway.
You gotta stay calm under pressure. It's not easy. I'm not calm. Whenever the driver cam, when Signature brings up the driver cams, I know I look like I'm. I was just talking about this in Dove's podcast. I know I look like I'm all calm and collective, but but inside I'm going It's crazy.
Watch RB's eyes next time you see his driver cam. He never blinks.
I don't, man. Yeah, my eyes start burning after the race.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Very good.
Yeah, this has been a really good time. Always good talking to you, Bar.
Same as you guys.
You're one of the good guys. You're one of the you can have the discussions and poke the fun, but also lay out decent information for people. So we appreciate you taking the time to jump on with us. So
appreciate the being able to do it. It's fun. I was so excited. It's like number 2, yes. Completely forgot. Blew my mind. I was like, I could do that again. So
yes,
that's pretty.
Go ahead and give your shout outs, Bar.
Cool, calm, collected. No, shout out to the wife and kids for they let me race. It was a full weekend. Did the spa 24-hour race and then that race, and then stayed up to 2:00 watching the cup race. So shout out to them for letting me do it. Shout out to everybody in this league again. Different people each week you see up front, and the guys in the back aren't in the back no more. Without y'all and the way we try to help each other out, I think it's like makes it more of like a family community and just a bunch of people that race. Shout out to my dad. He watches every weekend he gets a chance. And shout out to Milo at Lap Labs. If you guys get a chance, go check out laplabs.net. They just did, I think, version 11 updates out, and you can have like 200 ghost cars. So you can see do a long run. You can see everything, like where what lap your fastest. We're working on, I think he's talking to Signature, I believe. We're working on like a broadcast feature to use. And here in a few weeks, he wants to, might be a little bit longer than a few weeks, might be like a month or 2 out, but he wants to do some like a little mini series or some prize races to where everybody uses the software, like to win or whatnot. You have to use the software. That way we can work on like the broadcast feature, because you can see everybody's car on the Lap Labs underneath one thing. And when that gets going, I'll definitely let you guys know.
Sounds cool.
It'd be fun.
So, absolutely.
No, I know that you guys have put a ton of work into that deal, and like I'm looking forward to getting to use it. I just need to sit down and download the stuff. But I'll take any tools I can get to be better at this point.
Yeah, whenever you do get it, just let me know and I can walk you through it. He sent me like a little video and everything of like what does what. I walked Aaron through it. I don't know if that was a good idea or not.
Probably not.
Oh, good. We're making the fast guys faster around here.
Yeah.
Good deal. No, so that's awesome. Appreciate my wife and my kids and everything they let me do. I've got a little spontaneous work trip here to Kearney, Missouri. couple 2.5 hours away from home, and my wife rolls with it, takes the punches, man. And then I come home and she lets me get on and do the iRacing stuff and hang out with you guys. And so I appreciate her. I appreciate Race Wrap Guy for being with us, and really enjoy his product. He does really good work. And shout out to Black Creek Diesel, Stuff at Burgers, a couple of sponsors that I brought on this season. Appreciate them being with me this season. And I say it every week. Shout out to RB. He does all the hard things. He does the cutting, the cooking, the wrapping, everything. And I just sit here and talk shit. So, I appreciate him, appreciate Amp Racing League, and we'll see y'all next week after Dover.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody out there listening and checking us out and all that good stuff. Thank you to Race Wrap Guy. Also, thank you to Ryan Witt for the help that he's given with the podcast and everything. Thank you to everybody in Amp showing up every week and putting on a good show. And if you want to see us racing it out on Sunday nights, link will be in the description. We race Sunday nights at 7:30 Eastern. We also have some cool merch for Cool Down Lapping, as well as the Amp Racing League. The links to those will be in the description also. And we will see you next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Hi, Mom.
Does your iRacing car currently look like it was sponsored by Minecraft Paint and poor decisions? Well, good news. Race Wrap Guy can fix that. With real-world NASCAR wrap design experience, Race Wrap Guy creates clean, aggressive, professional custom wraps that actually look like they belong on a Sunday broadcast instead of the back row of a rookie lobby. And because we like y'all, listeners of the Cool Down Lap podcast get $10 off any iRacing wrap. Just mention the podcast when you order. And if you've got a real race car that needs to look fast even when it's sitting still, you'll get $100 off any real race car wrap too. Same deal. Just mention the Cool Down Lap podcast. So stop showing up to the grid looking like a rolling yard sale and let Race Wrap Guy make your car look like it actually belongs there.